Hi and welcome back. If this is your first time to my channel, my name is Stephanie and I am a makeup addict. I am a project planner, so that means that I use up all of my makeup. I am technically on a low buy this year, but I did purchase something, and that is the Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush palette in the shade Daria. When I saw that she was going to release these, I got really excited. I absolutely adore Natasha Denona eyeshadows. I'm currently patting the Lila palette. And like, I love her aesthetic. I love the way she puts colors together. I really, really enjoy Natasha Denona products. So I saw this and I was like, girl, I've got to get that. Whenever it released on the Beautylish site, I was like right there the second it released, and I ordered this one. It's more of a cool toned pink shadow, like blush palette, and I figured that would be the best shade for me. There's also the citrus, which is more corally with like a yellow gold highlighter, but I had left a comment on Natasha Denona's one of her pictures asking which palette would be better for my skin tone, and she said the Daria. So I was like, oh well, A, Natasha Denona just replied to my question. B, I love blush. Like, I freaking adore blush. So I ordered this and I've used it a few times and I really like it. I'm going to say straight up that it's not a palette that I think everybody needs. I think that the shadows are somewhat dupeable. Like, if you have a lot of blushes, you probably have like a cool tone pink. So if you have the means and you're like curious about it, then I would say go for it. But it is kind of pricey. But like, to each their own, you know. I mean, if you want to spend money on a blush palette or an eyeshadow palette, then you do you. If you don't like the price point, then that's totally your prerogative, and I get it. So I'm not saying like, oh my god, you need to have this palette, because I'm typically not one to say that, but I would suggest it. Suggest. I will suggest this palette if you're super curious, if you like cream products, etc. So I am going to be applying this on my face. I've had a few people ask me to do this video, which is why I am doing it. I kept my eye look very, very simple today. It's nude mauve in my crease from the Lila palette. I actually used this diamond powder as my inner corner highlight. I really like it, and I have like I think it's called Pure Pout by MAC on my lips. So just a regular, you know, a nude lip color. This palette, whenever I first got it, I was just playing around and I had like hella blush on. Crazy amounts of blush on. And my daughter was like, oh, that looks terrible. But the next day that I used it, I found that I could tone down the, I guess, the pigmentation of these really easily, and I like it. It's very soft and pretty and kind of like romantic. So as you probably know, these top three shades are cream products. These bottom three are powders, and they work really well together. I don't have any problem layering these items together. They don't get weird on my cheeks. I don't see any emphasis in skin texture, anything like that. So I'm just going to apply my blush, and that way you can see what it looks like on my skin tone. I do use three separate things for this palette, which is probably a little bit much, but I found that it works. I use a damp beauty blender, a stippling brush. This one in particular is from MAC. It's a 159, and I use the Wayne Goss airbrush for the powder, blush, and the highlight. So these three, I'm already a little bit extra in my brushes and whatnot that I use like on a daily, so this like three-step process isn't really that big of a deal for me. I do like that this has a mirror on it. I mean, it's a good size mirror, so I'm just going to be using this. And I am using this the way that Natasha Denona suggested in her Instagram stories whenever she was like amping up the release of this product. So I just followed her steps, and it works really well. So using a damp beauty blender, I will be going into the Glow Cream base, and it's very light. I realize that this is more a like a sticky base for the powder products, and I kind of like that because it helps them stick. And these aren't like your typical cream blushes or anywhere near like ColourPop's Super Shock Cheek products. I did not like those. I found that those emphasize my texture really, really badly. But these are just really nice, not super like waxy. I don't really even know how to describe them, honestly. So that is the Glow Cream Base. And then using the fat end of the Beauty Blender, I'm going to be going into the cream blush. You kind of have to like pounce and swipe. That's the product on my Beauty Blender. I find that the more that you blend it in, the better it looks, because it can get a little bit overwhelming. So this is definitely not a product where if you don't have a lot of time, it's not a good product for that. It's definitely a little bit of a process. But it blends out really nice. I guess I should have, there we go. Okay, so that is the cream highlight base and the cream blush before I have any powder products on. Using my stippling brush and this one called Duo Glow, I'm going to put this on first. This one doesn't really feel like a cream product. It feels more powdery, but it is technically a cream. It's really, really stinking pretty. And this is like the duochrome highlight, I guess she was saying, like Natasha Denona calls it. And I'm going to put that on. I might use the Beauty Blender to just tone that down a little bit, but I like applying it first with the stippling brush. See, it's really cool tone pink. I like the stippling brush and the duochrome one just because it I'm able to get a better handle on where I put the product. And then I can blend it out. I'm going to use the airbrush and the powder blush. I like to use the tip and just, I like to doink it in. I don't know if that's even a word, but just dip it in a little bit. I like using this particular brush because it's super, super soft and it doesn't pick up a whole lot of product, so I don't feel like it can be overly, I don't get too much product on my brush is what I'm trying to say. Using the same brush, I'm going to go into Glow Extreme, which is like, I think your typical highlighter shade. Powder is very, very smooth. It's not textured at all, and it just gives kind of a, like there's glitter in it, but they're so fine that it doesn't look crazy. I don't think it looks crazy. So taking that, There we go. That's it. I wanted to zoom in, that way you can see that there's not a lot of texture that is being emphasized. My skin isn't crazy bad anyways. Like, I don't have any serious skin issues, I don't think. I mean, I'm getting wrinkly under my eyes, but I think that these blend out really, really well. They blend out, they layer really well, and I don't know, I really like this. So you can definitely tone the look down by blending out the products more. I tend to like a little bit of a heavier blush look. I always have. It's just what I like. So I like that it's kind of like a bam in your face, and in all of her Natasha Denona's promo pictures for this, like, it's like a super heavy blush look, and I didn't do it as heavy as she has done, but I love it. So that's my, that is my demonstration of the Natasha Denona Daria Diamond Blush palette. If you have been interested in it, or if you think that you have things that are similar that can give you like the same effect, can you like let us know down below? Are you a blush lover? Do you not really care? I really, really like this palette. I think it would take me absolutely forever to try and go through all of these. I mean, you get a ton of product in here. Like, a lot of product. I don't even know how much is in here. 6 pieces times 7 grams. So there's 7 grams of product in each of the pans. But I am looking into getting the citrus palette at some point. Puffin's wife did a video on these, and she ordered the citrus, and it looks absolutely beautiful on her skin tone. Her and I are very similar in skin tone. I think she might be a little bit more yellow, where I'm a little bit more pink. But eventually I would like to get the citrus palette. These are not limited edition. They are permanent to her line, and I love it. Like, I truly love this product. I like how it's all glowy. Very glowy. I did want to compare 2 different things. I have Trophy Wife by Fenty. I know it's a super yellow highlighter, but if I use the Wayne Goss Holiday Brush from 2017, it's not yellow on my skin tone, but the glitter in this is much more big and obvious than the glitters in the Natasha Denona palette. So if you can tell, there's Trophy Wife, and then I swatched the glittery shade in the Natasha palette right here, and I think that you can really tell the glitters in the Trophy Wife as compared to the Natasha Denona. It's much more noticeable in this one. And from swatching the other Fenty, from swatching the other Fenty highlighters, they're much more glittery. Same with the what is it? The Anastasia Beverly Hills, like their glow kits. Those are so much more glittery. Like, I don't see any glitter specks on my cheeks with this palette. Whenever I use the Anastasia highlighters, I do have glitter on my cheeks, like noticeable glitter. So if that's something to consider, I think. I was thinking maybe some people might be a little bit put off by the glitter in this, but it's not like your typical glitter highlights, and I love it. All right, I don't know what else to say. If you have tried this palette, please let me know. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Did you return it? I give it a thumbs up. I love it. Anyways, I don't know what to say. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. I forgot to mention, this will last like this all day long. The staying power of this kit, I guess, is like amazing. I noticed that the first time I tried it, and then like I really noticed it the second and third days that I wore this palette. Like, it is stuck on your face, and it looks freaking bomb all day long. All day long.
I think my bracelet's making too much noise. Hang on, let me take it off. This isn't, real quick, it's an Alex and Annie, but it's it's a little daisy. Look how cute that is. When I saw it, I was like, oh, I need the daisy one. I love daisies, which is why my daughter's name is Daisy, and my social media handle is Daisy Girly. Whenever I was younger, Talk City was a chat room, long time ago, whenever the internet was just starting to get big. There was an internet chat room called Talk City, and my username on there was Daisy Girly. So it's just kind of I've had the same email address since I was 15 years old. So that's where the Daisy Girly comes from. I find that the more that you blend it in, the better it looks, because it can get a little bit overwhelming. So this